5, 6 minutes. I'll be as quick as I can. During the February estimates hearings, the ATSB stated it was planning to retrieve the black boxes from PelAir flight VHNGA. Can you provide the committee with a quick update on this process? What is the likely timeline? And for instance, has the ATSB contacted any services or companies about undertaking the retrieval?
Senator, we have done, working with the New South Wales and AFP diving specialists, we've done a reconnaissance of the area where the black boxes are, confirmed that the aircraft wreckage is still there, and we published some details of that on the website. We are currently, we've had informal discussions with a range of potential providers, and we will shortly be putting out a tender for the services. The likely time frame is that we won't be in a position to be actually doing the recovery, which is a quite complex exercise, until August or September of this year.
So you're not recovering the whole aircraft, are you? Just the recorders?
One of the debates is whether the simplest is to recover the entire aircraft rather than having divers down.
So by next estimates, hopefully the recovery would have taken place, and you'll be able to do an analysis as to whether the recordings are still on there or still able to be retrieved. Is that right?
That's our aim, Senator.
And so the ATSB's received quotes and gone down that path?
We've received indicative quotes at this stage, but we want to do a formal procurement process in accordance with the government policy.
Now I think you've stated or the ATSB has stated that the reopened PelAir investigation will likely be completed before Christmas. Is that still a likely time frame?
Yes, Senator. If there are significant delays in the recovery of the recorders, that might put a delay into it, but our aim still is to complete it before Christmas.
Thank you. One of the concerns raised by the Canadian TSB in response to the ATSB's investigation of the PelAir ditching was the lack of information gathered by the ATSB and how that contributed to the poor quality of the investigation and report. The TSB's report states in the executive summary, first of all, an early misunderstanding about the responsibilities of the Australian Civil Aviation Safety Authority, CASA, and the ATSB in the investigation was never resolved. This led to the ATSB collecting insufficient information from PelAir to determine the extent to which the flight planning and monitoring deficiencies observed in the occurrence existed in the company in general. Poor data collection also hampered the analysis of specific safety issues, particularly fuel management, company and regulatory oversight and fatigue. The ATSB does not use a specific tool to guide investigation of human fatigue. How will the ATSB attempt to overcome these deficiencies in information when preparing the new report? And is there a risk that it's simply too late to make up for a lack of adequate information gathering earlier on?
There are probably two things to say there, Senator. The first is we have one of our best human factors and analytical specialists leading this exercise.
Just remind me, who's that?
It's Dr. Mike Walker.
Right.
Supported by one of our most experienced operations investigators. It's possible that there is some information that through passage of time will not be reliable or collectible, but there's a range of information that's still available, and we have been comprehensively going around the various agencies and parties collecting information.
So you'll be speaking to the pilot and co-pilot of the aircraft as well?
Yes, Senator. And already have spoken to the pilot, I believe, and we'll shortly be speaking to the co-pilot.
Okay, and also Karen Casey, the nurse?
Ms Casey approached us, Senator, with an offer to provide us with information that she had that she thought would be useful, and we're more than happy to do that. We are not at this stage seeing it as necessary to interview Ms Casey, although we're happy to have discussions with her if she wishes.
Sure. Can I just move